I should have known something was wrong the moment she smiled and said, "Don't worry, I trust my family." That sentence would cost us everything. My name is Daniel Carter, and this is not a story about money. It's a story about trust, greed, and how a single secret destroyed an entire family in less than 24 hours. On the night of our wedding, when the guests had left, when the music was quiet, and when it was finally just the two of us, I sat on the edge of the bed, holding something heavier than gold, a secret worth $200 million. I took her hands gently and looked straight into her eyes. "Emma, there is something you must promise me before I tell you." She laughed softly. "You're acting so serious. We're married now." I didn't laugh. "Emma, listen to me carefully. Never tell your mother-in-law about this. Not your mother, not your father, not anyone." Her smile slowly faded. "What is it?" she asked. I took a deep breath. "I own assets worth $200 million. The room went silent. She stared at me like I had just spoken another language. "200 million?" she whispered. I nodded. No lottery, no inheritance drama, no criminal money. I had built it quietly over 15 years. Private equity, tech investments, offshore holdings, and companies that never carried my name publicly. I lived modestly by choice. I wanted a real marriage, not one based on numbers. Emma started crying, not tears of greed, but shock. "I don't care about the money," she said quickly. "I married you." I believed her. That's when I said the words that should have protected us both. "Emma, your mother cannot know. She is not like you." She hesitated. "My mom is emotional," she said, "but she loves me." I squeezed her hands tighter. "Love and greed often live in the same heart. Please, promise me." After a long pause, she nodded. "I promise." I slept peacefully that night. I shouldn't have. 24 hours later. The next afternoon, we were still in our pajamas when the doorbell rang. Once, twice, 3 times. Aggressive. Emma frowned. Who could that be? I looked through the window. My stomach dropped. Her mother's car, her father's car, and behind them, her brother's truck. They weren't visiting, they were arriving. Emma's phone buzzed. A message from her mother. "Sweetheart, open the door. We need to talk. It's about the money." I turned slowly toward Emma. My voice was calm, but cold. "What did you do?" Her face went pale. I only told my mom," she whispered. "I swear, just her. She pressured me. She said family shouldn't have secrets." Outside, her mother knocked again, this time with her fist. "Daniel, we know you're home." That's when I realized something terrifying. They didn't come to talk, they came to claim. Inside my head, I had warned her, not because I hated her family, but because I had seen this before. Friends destroyed by relatives, families torn apart by numbers on paper. Money doesn't change people, it reveals them. The door shook again. Her father shouted, "You married into our family. That money belongs to all of us now." Emma started crying. "I didn't think they'd react like this," she said. I walked toward the door slowly. Every step felt heavy, because once I opened it, nothing would ever be the same again. The moment I opened the door, the house stopped feeling like my home. Emma's mother walked in first. No greeting, no smile, no congratulations. Her eyes weren't looking at me. They were scanning the house, as if she were already calculating what belonged to her. Her father followed, clearing his throat like a man preparing for a business meeting. Then came her brother, arms crossed, already annoyed, already angry. Emma stood behind me, shaking. Her mother broke the silence. "So," she said, sitting down without asking, $200 million, that's impressive." I closed the door slowly. "You weren't invited," I said calmly. Her mother laughed. "Oh, please, we're family now." Family. That word again. Her father leaned forward, elbows on his knees. Daniel, he said, forcing a polite tone, let's speak like adults. My daughter married you. What's yours is hers. I nodded. And what's hers is ours, her brother added quickly. That's when I knew they had already divided the money in their heads. I looked at Emma. She wouldn't meet my eyes. Her mother pulled out her phone and began scrolling. We've made a small list, she said casually. A list of my money. She started reading. First, your father-in-law's business has been struggling. A $15 million investment would stabilize it. Her father nodded proudly. Second, she continued, your brother-in-law needs capital. He's always had big ideas. $5 million should be enough to start. Her brother smirked. Third, she said, smiling sweetly at Emma, you two deserve a proper home, something in a gated community. We found a few properties, around $25 million. I stayed silent. She wasn't finished. Oh, and of course, family support. Monthly assistance, vacations, medical coverage. Nothing unreasonable. Nothing unreasonable. She finally looked up at me. So, she said, when can we start? The moment I said no. I took a deep breath. You're not getting a single dollar. The room froze. Her father's polite mask vanished. What? He snapped. I stepped forward. I warned Emma not to tell you because I knew this would happen. My money is not a family fund. Her mother's face hardened. You married my daughter, she said sharply. That money became marital property. Her brother stood up. You think you're better than us, he said, living small while sitting on a mountain of cash? I didn't raise my voice. This conversation is over. Please leave. Her mother laughed again, but this time it was cold. You're making a mistake, she said. You don't want to start a marriage by disrespecting family. That's when her father said the words that broke something inside me. If you don't cooperate, he said slowly, we'll talk to lawyers. We'll make sure Emma gets her fair share. Emma gasped. Dad, stop. But it was too late. They weren't asking anymore, they were threatening. Emma chooses a side. I turned to Emma. My voice was quiet. Do you want this money or this marriage? Tears streamed down her face. I just wanted everyone to be happy, she whispered. Her mother stood beside her. Sweetheart, this is your future. Don't let him control you. Emma looked at me, then at her parents, then at the floor. She didn't answer, and her silence told me everything. The ultimatum. I picked up my phone. You have 10 minutes to leave, I said. After that, this becomes a legal matter. Her father scoffed. You won't do anything. Her mother smiled confidently. You need us. You married into this family. I smiled back for the first time. No, I said. You married into my world, and you have no idea how small you are in it. The smile slowly disappeared from her face, because for the first time they realized I wasn't bluffing. They thought I was just a quiet man with hidden money. They were wrong. Very wrong. After they finally left, slamming doors, shouting threats, promising lawyers, Emma collapsed onto the couch, sobbing. I never meant for this to happen, she cried. They pressured me. My mom said if I didn't tell her, I was betraying the family. I didn't argue. I didn't shout, because at that moment, my mind wasn't on emotion. It was on protection. I picked up my phone and made one call. Activate Protocol Gray, I said calmly. There was a pause on the other end. Understood, my attorney replied. We'll begin immediately. Emma looked up at me, confused. What does that mean? She asked. I sat across from her. It means everything changes starting now. The truth about the $200 million. Here's what her family didn't know. the money was never in my name, not personally. The $200 million was divided across 3 international trusts, 2 private holding companies, 1 irrevocable asset protection structure, and most importantly, Emma was not a beneficiary. Not because I didn't love her, but because I had learned, long before meeting her, that love and law must never be mixed without time. The prenup she had signed, without even reading carefully, was airtight. Every asset I owned before marriage remained mine. Every asset acquired after marriage went into separate entities. No access, no leverage, no shortcuts. By threatening lawyers, her parents had triggered something far worse: legal exposure. The first call from their lawyer. 2 days later, their lawyer called mine. It was supposed to be an intimidation move. It turned into a disaster. Within 10 minutes, their lawyer went silent, then said something I'll never forget. "This is something I wasn't informed of," he said. Of course he wasn't, because if he had known, he would have told them to never open their mouths. Their claims had no legal standing, but their threats? Those were documented. Text messages, voicemails, witnesses, all neatly preserved. My attorney smiled when he called me back. "They've put themselves in a very uncomfortable position," he said. "Extortion is a word being mentioned." When greed turns to fear. That evening, Emma's mother called. Her voice was different, soft, careful. "Daniel," she said, "I think there's been a misunderstanding." I put the phone on speaker. "No," I replied calmly, "there's clarity." Her father got on the line. "We're willing to compromise," he said quickly. "No lawyers, no drama." I laughed quietly. "You already chose drama when you knocked on my door." Then her brother tried a different approach. "You don't want to destroy this family," he said. "Think about Emma." That's when Emma finally spoke. "I didn't think about me," she said, her voice shaking, "when you treated my husband like a bank." Silence. They hadn't expected that. The document that ended everything. A week later, they received a formal notice, not a lawsuit, something worse, a cease and desist. Any further contact regarding my finances would result in legal action. Their business accounts were suddenly under review. Loans were frozen. Investors got nervous. Not because I attacked them, but because confidence disappeared. Money smells fear, and fear spreads fast. Emma's father's business, already fragile, started collapsing. And for the first time, they realized the money they wanted was the same money that could destroy them. Emma's realization. That night, Emma sat beside me in silence. I didn't